At times, it feels like justice in our country is on life support.
The dream of equality is alive. We can still hear free at last, echo in our souls. But sadly, our dream is yet to be realized.
There's so much work to be done, and that work is our purpose.
Our mission is to help rewrite the story of not just our city, but our nation.
We know that when justice is restored, so are people.
Imagine cities like yours uniting to find solutions to end injustice everywhere.
Together, we can reinvest in our communities.
Refocus our vision.
Reimagine our future.
We are a place. We are a people. We are a purpose.
We are ReCity.
Well, welcome to ReCity Chronicles. This is your host, KJ Hill, and I am really excited about today's episode. We have Mr. Ricky Hart and Miss Beverly Evans from Stagville Descendants Council, and I've been looking forward to this conversation for a long time. When we set out and launched ReCity, we were setting out to gather together change makers, innovators, people who care deeply about the community, and including people who want to be together and want to work together and who have been working for a long time to bring about a better, more just, more equitable community. I don't know that there's any group that better represents all of those qualities than Stagville Descendants Council and the work that you guys are doing. So I'm looking forward to this conversation. Love to just throw it out to you right from the beginning. If you can maybe tell us a little bit about Stagville Descendants Council.
Thank you for having us, KJ. I appreciate that. I'm Ricky L. Hart. I'm the chairman of the Stagville Descendants Council. I started what we call the SDC back in 1997. I'm a fifth generational descendant from the Stagville Plantation. Yeah. And if people don't know, Stagville Plantation was the largest plantation in the state of North Carolina. It stretched 30,000 acres, which is 47 square miles. There's a back and forth on how many enslaved people it had on it. The marker says 900, but we have articles going back. The UNC says 1900. Wow. From the Benning Hands, then to the Camerons. So from 1797, something like that, all the way through emancipation, 1865. Yeah. My father, my grandfather, my great-grandfather, and his father were enslaved at that plantation. So my dad would take me out where he was raised, his father and all of, this is generation. Yeah. So he would take me out and show me around and tell me, hey, we sit on the Hart house front step and he tell me, look out, what do you see? Wow. I see a bunch of nothing. He said, well, just imagine if you, as far as you can see, you see nothing but tobacco fields, or you look over here, you see nothing but cornfields. And he would take me around and he'd tell me about, who lived where, and just so much history that when he would take me out there, and I mean, since I was like 13, 14, he would take me out. So I've been going out there since, I was 13 or 14 years old. And the things that I looked at as far as that, the main purpose of the SDC is reuniting descendants from the plantation. That's our number one goal, is reuniting descendants. Out of all those people, like I said, between 900 and 1900, stretching over 47 square miles, that's a lot of people and a lot of family cross-matching, right? Right, so right. We had a lot of that going on. I think at this time, and I know Ms. Beverly, she could talk on it probably, but I think it's up to, I think we have solid evidence of about 98 different, surnames, last names that was there, right? Again, for us, we have 8 different subcommittees that people can do. We have our website that's up. Yeah. It's volunteer. It's all volunteer. So we get more out of people that want to volunteer. And a lot of stuff is documentation. People that want to bring us stuff, we can scan documents, photos, documents, and I, got 1,000 stories to tell.
Wow, it's incredible. I'd love to hear from Miss Beverly.
I'm Beverly Evans. I am a third-generation descendant from slavery, and part of my family was on Stagville at the Snow Hill sub-plantation. And so from whole era of slavery and all, we were disconnected. The family was disconnected after emancipation because people were transferred or looking for jobs and places to live. And during that time, there was no communication with the post office or any of that. So they kind of lost touch. And I did not know I was a descendant of Stagville until I worked in New Jersey, lived in New Jersey for 39 years, and I moved back home to take care of my mom, who was 90 years old, and she sent me on a mission to find out where our people really came from. Because during the time of her grandparents and parents, there was no talking about slavery and what experiences they had during slavery. So I equivalent to like having PTSD.
Sure.
And so she didn't know. So that's when I started on my mission and found other descendants, other relatives, and met Ricky and found out that we were all connected because of the community of the enslaved people that intermarried each other. So we're all kind of interrelated through marriages and all, and it's just been a phenomenal experience of discovery. We feel like history detectives to find out the information, and with the trips to the UNC library to find out about the enslavers and their family and their receipts and all of that, because Paul Cameron was a lawyer who kept meticulous notes and records. So there are over 100 and some boxes at the UNC Wilson Library for you to go through. And now they have just started digitizing them to make them more accessible. But they still have a long ways to go. And the interconnections of their family with the Ruffins, because he married Anne Ruffin, daughter of Thomas Ruffin, one of the biggest Supreme Court justices back in the day, and all of that. So we've uncovered a lot of information. I am on the executive committee with the Stagville Descendants Council as the special events coordinator. As part of that, we did a library tour of providing information about us and Stagville, because a lot of people in Durham really don't know that much about it. And so it's been an experience that we have journeyed on that's been rewarding to give people the knowledge about what went on and where some of the descendants are now and the things that they accomplished.
There's so many things that SDC is doing that's so important. One of the things you mentioned is the amount of new people that are coming to Durham all the time that don't fully understand the whole history of where they are, the place that they are, the people who are here. And so being able to tell that story, to be able to help people better understand, people who want to hear and want to listen, which not everyone unfortunately does, but for those who do, being able to know the real story. And part of what's really interesting to me about history, you said that you guys are history detectives. I love that. I love that phrase. But part of what's interesting about history is history doesn't just tell us about the hardships, but it does tell us about the hardships. It reminds us the resilience, the strength, the skills. I've had the chance to go to Stagville a couple times in various parts of pilgrimage and learning and that sort of thing. And one of the things that strikes me is the craftsmanship of the buildings that are out there, and to think about the conditions in which people were working to build and create, and yet still being able to do like such remarkable, beautiful, excellent work under those conditions is, to me, it speaks to something really remarkable about the people, and to be able to remind us and to be able to show us, and then to also connect that to today, that this isn't just 150 years ago, but as descendants, there's a connection and a thread all the way through to where we are. You guys represent that. The work that you do represents that. Families here in Durham represent that. And I just think that's beautiful Thank you for the work that you're doing for people like me who are new to Durham, but want to know and understand and learn about our history and about the people who are here. We'll be right back after this short break.
Hey, Bobby here, Community Manager at ReCity Network in downtown Durham, North Carolina. Join us for Free Co-working Day at ReCity every second Thursday from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. It's a monthly open house where you can work from ReCity for free and experience the Triangle's only co-working community dedicated to social impact. You'll get high-speed Wi-Fi, complimentary coffee and refreshments, open seating, and a chance to tour the space and learn about memberships and upcoming events. And to wrap it up, we're finishing the day with a happy hour, a laid-back way to connect with the community after you've gotten some work done. RSVP is encouraged. Walk-ins welcome if space allows. Find out more at recitynetwork.org/free co-working day.
And we're back. Tell us maybe some of the ways that people can be involved with SDC.
We have a few subcommittees. We have the Historical Research Committee. Director of that is Miss Dana Williams. She's out of Atlanta. What they do is anything dealing with history, they take care of it, whether it's research, collecting information, documents, photos, anything to do with research. We have our Information and Technology Subcommittee, who it's ran by Mr. Nathan Russell. Anything to do with technology, I don't care if it's computers, laptops, whatever it is, technology, setting up the website, podcast stuff. He takes care of all that, any recommended equipment that we need. We go to him. Then we have our Communications, Marketing, and Publicity Subcommittee that's led by Director Gabriela Guerrera, and she's doing an excellent job. So she takes care of everything as far as the internet, Instagram, Facebook, anything to do with communications. For outreach, there's Mr. Robert Whitaker. He takes care of things as to do with outreach. He goes out, with the community. So he's got stuff lined up for us for the next 3 months. And we're trying to, make sure it makes sense on the calendar and all the different things we're doing with that. We have the Grants Committee that's open. We have the Hospitality Committee that's open. We don't have a lot of volunteers for that. But, with those hospitality, when we're putting on an event, that's people that come in, they set up the tables, they set everything up. Make sure the food vendors are straight, anything to do with hospitality, greet people at the door. And the Cemetery Committee. The Cemetery Committee is one of our very active committees that we're working on to restore a cemetery that housed the enslaved from, I think, the time it started. So the Cemetery Committee is very active. We're restoring the cemetery. It's got, I think we was out there last Sunday, and it said at the time they was doing it was between 500 and 700 graves they've discovered and still working on it. I know my aunt was telling me it's over 1,000 people out there. So those are some of the things people can get involved in. They can go to our website, www.sdchq.org.
What is a message or what is something that you would want to share to new people who are moving into this space that you would love for them to know?
Durham is a special place, a feeling of cohesiveness and inclusion. There are not a lot of judgments about what you're doing and all, as long as everybody is kind of on the same playing field, of creating and moving forward and not trying to take things backward, like some other rural areas where they want everything to stay the same. Durham is not like that. So it's special.
And I will add to that, I'll just say one thing where people can look at it and really see that none of our city council members, none of our county commissioners were born in Durham. Everybody from the city council, everybody from county commissioners are from somewhere else.
Interesting.
And that's where I'll tap off Miss Beverly.
Right.
You come here and you can get elected to an office. You don't even know nothing about this city. But that's why I'll piggyback on Miss Beverly said. Durham will give you a chance. They will give you a chance.
So we mentioned it in passing. Stagville Descendants Council is working on a podcast. Anything that you can share with us, just a little teaser about what people could expect in an SDC podcast?
I'm gonna touch on it, but that's one of Miss Beverly's things. But one of the things I know, when we were at the executive board meeting, we was talking about the podcast, how we want to do what we're looking for to expound out to the people, not just here in Durham, but all over the world. And we was looking for a name. We came up with several names, and then one of them was, what about the grass? Or, and I was like, you cut the grass, there's nothing there. It goes, but. And Miss Beverly said, what about the trees? I said, what do you mean about the trees? Trees stay around for a very, very long time.
Mm-hmm.
And she was like, when trees grow, every time it's a year of completion, it has a circle, right? So as they grow older, you have those circles, but guess what? All those circles contain memories. And trees will speak to you as far as, with history. So we came with the name of The Trees Speak. So, and it's more to it than that, but it's like the trees go through a cycle, right? Spring, they come out and bloom, and then in the fall, they drop and they fall off. But that's just like family, generations, right? You grow, old ones, the branches, you get more branches. And sometimes branches get weak and branches fall off, like families. Some of the part of the families fall off. And the leaves are just like individual. Those branches stay, but guess what? The leaves regenerate. Right.
That's beautiful. That's a great name.
Yes. And when we're out there, whenever we go out there as descendants, and it's a quiet day like today, for some reason, the leaves, the wind starts blowing. And we notice that all of a sudden, the leaves are moving. We just had to take notice of that. And then as soon as we would be getting ready to leave, everything would stop and get still again. So it's the spirit of that place.
That's beautiful. I am looking forward to the release of the stories, the people who are represented. Well, thank you so much for being part of ReCity Chronicles. More importantly, it's such an honor to have you part of the ReCity family. So thank you for being here and being part of this community.
At times, it feels like justice in our country is on life support.
The dream of equality is alive. We can still hear free at last, echo in our souls. But sadly, our dream is yet to be realized.
There's so much work to be done, and that work is our purpose.
Our mission is to help rewrite the story of not just our city, but our nation.
We know that when justice is restored, so are people.
Imagine cities like yours uniting to find solutions to end injustice everywhere.
Together, we can reinvest in our communities,
Refocus our vision.
Reimagine our future.
We are a place. We are a people. We are a purpose.
We are ReCity.